Welcome back to the WSAV Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. Now your Savannah Power Sports Center post-game show.
All right, Dusty Ziegler, yours truly, Ken Sledge, wrapping things up here. And I think we kind of had a sense of what was going to go on in this football from the very first play from scrimmage for Ware County. They came out with a trick play, scored a touchdown, and they really never looked back.
They really didn't. I tell you what, it was just big play after big play after big play. I almost want to reach over there and push the button on that locomotive horn one more time.
It's a cool locomotive horn here down at Memorial Stadium in Waycross, Ware County, with a huge win over Brunswick. First of all, let's start with the team on the short end, Brunswick. While that score was really lopsided, we saw them do a lot of good things for a young football team.
You really did. They got athletes. They were moving the ball, especially that last drive. They were productive. They've got a lot of building blocks. They really do. And the focal point for those guys is the offseason. Get that offseason, move it in the right direction so they can come back next year and have a breakout season.
I was impressed most with their quarterback, Sean Smith. The lefty, very poised in the pocket, just a junior, forced into being a starting quarterback just a game ago. So he really he's got a bright future, I think, next year if he can really work hard.
Yeah, I mean, you could see his athletic ability out there. I mean, he was showing us that, but he has a good head for the game, too, knowing where the first down marker is and doing all the right things. He's got a bright future in football.
Now for the Ware County Gators, Dusty, this is a football team that, like we talked about, 15 games is what they think that they want to do. And what'd you see? Is this a state championship type team, what we saw tonight?
There's no doubt in my mind, and it's because they have the depth and they execute. You saw tonight so many different guys making so many different big plays, and you saw the whole team executing. Not only making the big play, they were good on turnovers. They kept the penalties to a minimum. These guys are a state championship caliber team.
It'll start next week when they head to the 5A state playoffs, and we'll bring to our Subway play of the game. And it was very early. It was the very first drive for the Ware County Gators, and a little bit of a trick play, maybe a flip over to Dedrick Mills. And Dedrick Mills just spotted DeAndre Taylor, who raced into the end zone. We called it 67 yards on the play. He kind of drew the defense, Dusty, and aired it out.
Well, we talk about athletic ability from so many players, but did you see him run and pass right there? I mean, that right there was a great play for him, and probably will be one of his most memorable plays as a football player, no matter what level he goes to.
Yeah, Subway play of the game right there. Dedrick Mills to DeAndre Taylor, 67 yards and a touchdown, and Ware County took over the lead right there and never looked back as he gets a high five from his head coach, Franklin Stevens. So we're going to take another break right here on our WSAV Thursday Night Blitz post-game show. We will be right back with more right after these messages.
Welcome back to the WSAV Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. Now, more of the Savannah Power Sports Center post-game show.
Welcome back to the post-game show here up in the press box with Ware County coming up with a big win over Brunswick. Head football coach Franklin Stevens, Dedrick Mills joining. We're going to start with you, Coach. First of all, you said 3 weeks ago started your playoffs, and each was a playoff game. You put in a strong performance in today's playoff game.
Well, it's good. We had a couple of little downs in the middle of the season right there, and our kids just being able to kind of get back on track. And we dug a hole for ourselves. We lost those games, and it's just one of those things to get in the playoffs. Our kids were going to have to fight and claw and start the playoffs. It had to be that playoff-type attitude and, get those guys credit. Over the last 3 weeks, they put together a string of wins, and they finished it off tonight against a good Brunswick team. Thought we played extremely well, and it was important for our seniors to go out with a win tonight. This may be the last time they play in this stadium. We want it to be a special memory for them, 20 years from now. They can kind of talk about, what happened this night. However, just never know how this thing may work itself out. Hey, we could get another game here, and we may not, but regardless, the sight that those guys came in, took control of their destiny tonight and got us in the playoffs.
Coach, you talked about the seniors, that this could be their last, but we saw a lot of them chip in today. You had a lot of different big plays. Talk about so many different players performing, and that's got to be great for a coach heading into the playoffs.
Well, it's that thing of challenging our kids and, giving them opportunities and creating opportunities for those guys, and then they've got to make good on them. Probably mid-week, our offensive coordinator, Spurlock, he said, well, we're going to open the game up with a halfback pass. And, when 26 is back there running the football, I've been saying all year long, he's going to draw some interest. And, you're going to get guys that want to kind of come and see what he's about and come try to get him on the ground. So he did a great job of executing right there and delivering the mail on the first play of the game. Another senior, DeAndre Taylor, had a big interception for a touchdown last week. somehow they made a throw, made a catch, and next thing you know, first play of the game, hey, it's a touchdown. Let's get it rolling.
All right, Diedrich, we didn't bring you up here just to stand and listen to Coach and I. Let's first of all, let's start with what Coach talked about. That first play of the game, exciting to throw a 67-yard touchdown, 1-for-1 passing, I believe, for 67 yards. Pretty good stats.
Yes, sir. I ain't know it was like it was going to be a good. Well, I knew it was going to be a good play because we've been working on it for a week strong. So, we've really been working on it longer than that. But just to find the time to put it in now. So, had to go out and execute and play.
One of the leaders of this football team, what did you talk about with your players, knowing that coaches can preach all they want, but the players have to tell themselves and the leaders of the team, this was you won and you went into the playoffs. Is that what you guys talked about, saying, guys, let's just make the playoffs and worry about everything else later?
We ain't really focused. We focused on playoffs, but we got to win one game at a time. Like, we got to. That first thing I told them, man, we got to come together and play as a team. And we came together tonight, played as a team. We've been playing as a team for the past 2 weeks. And 2 games that we lost, and I guess kind of selfish in between there. But we all got back together, got back on the right track, came back in, won the game.
Well, our Subway Blitz play of the game was your first touchdown pass, and our performance of the game is also Mr. Mills here taking that. I know we had I think the big stat is 1-for-1 passing for 67 yards. You also had a rushing touchdown and played big on defense. Talk about your performance and how you led this football team to a win tonight.
My performance tonight, man, I had to come out here and do it for my team, man. I'm a senior, man. I got to come out and step out. I'm a D1 athlete. So as being a D1 athlete, you got to come out and make big-time plays. Like Coach always tell me, man, you that guy, so you got to make them plays, man.
Coach, you talk about his performance tonight, and obviously you played high school and college football, and you know what it's like for that senior to get a big game, especially possibly the final one at home.
Oh, yeah. It's just an unbelievable feeling, like I said, in the way they went and did it. The thing he's going to remember 20 years from now is getting talked about one of those big offensive linemen on that interception return right there on the 1-yard line. So, we're sitting there going, score. He's a running back. Score. And next thing we know, offensive lineman tackling. But, DJ's done a great job, and, we've challenged him as being the bell cow of the football team. And as he said, when you're that Division I guy, people should know who you are. And your players got to, dictate that. And this season, he's having a great season for us right now, and he's been a great leader for us. And hopefully, he can continue to lead us and just win one more football game.
Well, by the way, that offensive lineman is Deontay Demery, who has scholarship offers from probably every SEC school.
Yeah,
there it is.
It's still an offensive lineman.
Well, congratulations. One last question then for you, Coach. You have to feel real good heading into the playoffs, now the real playoffs, after a performance like you put from top to bottom today.
Oh, yeah. We're going to go back and we're going to do what we've been doing, which is focus, work on fundamentals, and, it's good to have that big win going into the playoffs, and hopefully we can build on it. And, our kids will find a way to win a football game next week, and that's what it's about, scratching and clawing. And at the end of it, in 4 quarters, you got to have more points than the other team.
Well, thank you very much, Diedrich Mills. Congratulations. Our performance of the game brought to you by some. Coach, congratulations on a big win as well. I'll let you two sneak out of here. We do appreciate you guys coming up here for sure. As a big win for the Ware County Gators. We'll see if I can get my partner back here. I'm not sure if he snuck out of here as well. It was a final score of 42-5, and I'm trying to track him down. I think he might have left, folks. Where's Dusty? Well, he's here. I knew he was still here. He was stepping away. Dusty, I thought you might have left us before we wrap things up here.
And somebody said something about free food back there, and instinct took over.
And I think Dan Flaxer said, you know what, he's probably back there eating chicken wings. And, well, you know what? He might have been right.
That's what they're for, right?
Well, Coach said, obviously this was a performance that he wanted to see, and we talked about how many players. I think the momentum thing's a factor, and, you having played high school, college, and professional football, how much can that momentum mean as you now do head into the true postseason?
It means everything in the world, because you can reflect on nothing but the good things that you did when you go into the playoff. When you go into the playoff scene, you say, hey, we're good at this, we're good at that. We got this going for us. We're confident about what we do. We can do great things. And you take that builds that momentum right into the playoffs. Then you get in the championship.
Well, it's been a great season of football, and it's coming to an end here on our 4th and final season. Dusty, your second game with us. We can't thank you enough for joining us and bringing color to our football telecast.
Thanks for having me. I've enjoyed myself immensely, and you guys do such a great job. I look forward to doing this again, look forward to crossing paths with all you guys.
We sure hope we do. Well, our final score as we bring you our final broadcast of the season here tonight, 42-5 at all in favor of the Ware County Gators as they head into the 5A playoffs starting up. So that's going to wrap up our broadcast. For Dan Flaxer, our producer, director, and for Jerry Perlman, Scott Maley, and the rest of our crew, Dusty Ziegler, I am Ken Slatz for our final broadcast. Good night from Waycross, where the Ware County Gators came up with a 42-5 win over Brunswick on the WSAV Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week.